Okay, so PTE Read Aloud question type is your very first question in the PTE academic test out of all 22 question types, and it appears in the speaking module. You get around 6 to 7 questions of this particular question type, and each question prompt, the text that you get that you have to read, is going to be up to 60 words long maximum. The way this question works is you get around 35 seconds to prepare or practice, and then there's a short beep. The moment this short beep occurs, you have to make sure that you start speaking within the first 3 seconds. If you do not do that, the computer algorithm will shift you to the next question type, and you will not have any chance to score for that particular question type. As a matter of fact, if you even take a 3-second or longer pause in between any of the question types in your speaking module, this rule gets triggered and the computer algorithm already is ready to shift you to the next question. And then after this, you get 40 seconds to finally record your answer. Whatever is spoken here will be evaluated, nothing else. This question type only gives you score in the speaking module. No other module is being checked here, or you're not going to get any evaluation. Before the 7th of August 2025, prior to that, you used to get marks in your reading module also for this question type, but now it is a standalone question type, only giving you marks in the speaking module. There are 3 parameters in this. Number 1 is content. Here you get somewhere around 5 marks. PT has not clarified how many exact specific marks maximum you can get, but they do say that it depends upon the length of the question. So going by an estimate and prior patterns, we feel that you can get up to a maximum of 5 marks here. What you need to ensure under the content parameter is that you read exactly what is written and in the exact order. Technically, no word should be skipped and no variations of the given words are allowed. Secondly, pronunciation. Again, you have 5 marks here, and this basically means you have to speak clearly. Correct word stressing should be there. There must be no mumbling and no mispronunciations either. The right pace, tone, and pitch has to be maintained. And lastly, oral fluency again stands for 5 marks. This ensures that you need to have a smooth rhythm. There must be fluency, no unnecessary pauses, no unnatural pauses, no hesitations, no self corrections, and even no repetitions. This should not be there. And to be honest, doing all of these three things is not that difficult. My name is Kshitij, and I have been helping candidates with IELTS and PTE test for more than 5 years now. I hold an IELTS band 8.5, which is a C2 level proficiency, and I'm also a TQ UK level 5 certified English language trainer. Over the years, I've trained more than 1500 candidates across 3 different countries, both online and offline. And now I'm going to take you to my computer screen where I'm going to show you how I would attempt a read aloud question for a 90 out of 90. So let's go. So as you can see, we have 35 seconds to prepare an answer, and we will actually do that. Variations kept the genre alive from the mid-19th century onwards. When mass literacy grew, adventure became a popular subgenre of fiction. Although not exploited to its fullest, adventure has seen many changes over the years, from being constrained to stories of knights in armors to stories of high-tech espionage. This was the 35 seconds to prepare. Now we'll go ahead and speak finally. Variations kept the genre alive from the mid-19th century onwards. When mass literacy grew, adventure became a popular subgenre of fiction. Although not exploited to its fullest, adventure has seen many changes over the years, from being constrained to stories of knights in armor to stories of high-tech espionage. The most important advice I can share with you here is always read the question prompt or the given passage in front of you twice. First time during the 35 seconds of preparation, and then second time when you finally record your answer in those 40 seconds. Why do I suggest this? Because of multiple benefits. The first one is natural fluency. See, one thing is pretty sure, you can try it out yourself. Always when you speak a particular line of text the second time, it is more comfortable, easier and you are more fluent. Your delivery is kind of almost effortless. Better timing. Many times candidates would just rush in or speak it very slowly because they don't have an idea as to how much time actually their covering of the whole text will take. When you do that in the first 35 seconds, you exactly know how many seconds can I take, and then you can precisely relax or be a little bit more faster to deliver an a relevant or an appropriate timing. Okay, there will be no pressure whatsoever. Third most important benefit is tackling difficult words. Many times, what I see in my offline and online classes also is that candidates, they just have some kind of problem with some words that may be uncommon or new for them. In the practice stage, you can actually identify what those words are, and then, even if you have to, you can skip up to one or two words, but don't try to speak it in the final answer. And lastly, uh, the subcontinental region that we live in, that is India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, many of us, because English is not our native language, we often tend to do some habitual mistakes. Like many of my students, they add an S after the word people or children or water. Some candidates have the opposite habit. Some would add the article the, some would probably omit some words. If in the practice stage you have a few seconds left out of those 35 seconds and you have finished your practice reading, don't hit the submit button. Please give some rest to your vocal cords, and then when you are speaking the final answer, if and by chance you have 5 or 10 seconds left out of those 40 seconds, then go ahead and immediately hit the submit button. Because in your final recording, if some background noises are coming in, maybe another candidate is speaking, it can ruin your score. Although there is no scientific backing to what I'm saying, because Pearson always advertises that its scoring engine is pretty good, the noise cancellation is top notch, but still, why to take the risk? Okay, so now that you understand all of this, I'm again going to do a few questions in front of you, and then you can have a probable idea of how to do this masterfully, right? So I'll be taking 4 more questions. Just be with me. It's about university workshops. This time the university is running a series of workshops for final year students on how to do well in interviews. These sessions will help participants prepare effectively for and perform at their best during job interviews. The workshop tutors have an excellent record of success in helping students acquire the positions that they desire. Alright, I still got 10 seconds, I can take a rest or something like that. No need to hurry here, okay? This time, the university is running a series of workshops for final year students on how to do well in interviews. These sessions will help participants prepare effectively for and perform at their best during later job interviews. The workshop tutors have an excellent record of success in helping students acquire the positions that they desire. Now, if you see here, I added the word that, but yeah, that's fine. 1 or 2 things here or there hardly matters. Please immediately hit the end recording button. There is every reason to believe that effective regulations are not merely a luxury that only the rich can afford, but an important foundation for a thriving private sector and economic growth. But the broad pattern of the past 5 years has been that the main reform efforts are taking place in rich countries. 15 seconds, enjoy, relax, whatever, just make sure you're giving your best there. And remember, no content mistakes like the one that I did last. There is every reason to believe that effective regulations are not merely a luxury that only the rich can afford, but an important foundation for a thriving private sector and economic growth. But the broad pattern of the past 5 years has been that the main reform efforts are taking place in rich countries. Schools host parent-teacher conferences 4 times a year, and it is important for families to attend. This is your chance to meet with teachers and ask questions about your child's progress. It can be helpful to write down questions ahead of time. Okay, so for the sake of this video, I'll just hit the start button. But remember, don't do that in the recording session. Schools host parent-teacher conferences 4 times a year, and it is important for families to attend. This is your chance to meet with teachers and ask questions about your child's progress. It can be helpful to write down questions ahead of time. Okay, that's a large one. Let's see. In Germany, over 100,000 tons of diapers are discarded each year, resulting in the wastage of valuable resources. Diaper liners, which contain special polymers known as superabsorbers, are among the materials that end up in landfills. However, researchers have made significant progress in enhancing the recycling process for these liners, leading to substantial improvements. As I do more and more of these now, my throat is becoming more used to doing this and it is getting effortless. In Germany, over 100,000 tons of diapers are discarded each year, resulting in the wastage of valuable resources. Diaper liners, which contain special polymers known as superabsorbers, are among the materials that end up in landfills. However, researchers have made significant progress in enhancing the recycling process for these liners, leading to substantial improvements. Okay, so that was the end of multiple questions that I've done for you. I think you can have a pretty good idea by now how to do this. But now this also is an obligation for me to tell you what are the common mistakes that a lot of candidates do. So let's head into it. See, the first major blunder that I see candidates doing is they're not speaking every answer twice, and it is hurtful for you. Trust me, if you don't do this, the multiple benefits that I've said is going to wreak havoc on you. So please make sure you utilize your practice time of 35 seconds very appropriately, because trust me, your life depends on it. Secondly, habitual errors. Now, if you could also see in the second or third question that I did with you, I added the word that. But one mistake here or there may not hurt your score even at all, right? I'm not saying you should go ahead and do this, but you've done 99.99% of the things correctly, right? But we people are so used to adding these S's, filler words, that we lose mistakes. We lose the marks there. Please make sure you're not doing that. Next, poor timing. If you are not speaking twice, you cannot ever know how much time on an estimation also you would take to complete your whole question prompt, and that gives birth to anxiety, nervousness. So please make sure you are noting down your time and then adjusting your pace of speed accordingly. Don't manipulate it too much, because the questions are not that long that you will actually have to do that. But yeah, make sure that in the practice read you are able to finish it in a comfortable time of around 35 seconds. And lastly, this is one thing I don't know why many people forget or they ignore. See, you are not supposed to read every word. Well, technically, yes, you are. But imagine a situation here. If I'm not able to say the word obnoxious and I keep on saying I have an obsession about speaking the word obnoxiously, what? You lose marks on your fluency, content, as well as pronunciation. But if, on the other hand, you don't speak that word, my brother is feeling, and then I have advised him to go to the hospital. I'm not saying that the algorithm will be fooled, but you have only missed the word. You have not mispronounced anything, you've not fumbled, you've not done any fluency or pronunciation mistakes. So it's a win-win situation, because you will be able to minimize your loss if you just skip the obsession to read each and every word. And lastly, there are some very, very important things to remember. First things first, please avoid free portal. I'm not asking you to not practice them. I did not want to say this, but there's a very famous portal called AP Uni. They're very good in terms of the questions that they have and the amount of questions that they have. And trust me, even if some candidate has only prepared with AP Uni, they will not be surprised by the questions that they get in the final test. But the thing that I see with most candidates is they are so obsessed about getting their scores from AP Uni. I understand curiosity is a good cat, but you are not supposed to check your answer every time also. So two things. please don't depend on free portals such as Ape Uni or any other thing. They'll give you manipulated scores so that you subscribe to them, right? And second thing, every time you do an answer, please don't hit the check score button because you're just limiting your speed and efficiency. My suggestion would be that you go ahead and you listen to your recording, what you've said. It would be a much better thing. Remember the bigger picture here. The third thing that I want to say here is remember the bigger picture. PTE Speaking Read Aloud question is a base question, right? It builds your fluency, and this just not gives you the benefits in the PT section speaking, but it also gives you a very big edge in the real life. If you've practiced this enough, trust me, your fluency will build on a very comprehensive level, and therefore you will be able to take its benefits even in the real life out of the PT test, whether it is your workplace or the country that you are going to. How should you practice? Fourth most important thing. See, my suggestion would be divided into a 4-phase thing, right? First thing, you speak the question in the practice, record your answer, and listen to it. Once you've recorded your answer and you're listening to yourself, try to identify content mistakes, where did you fumble, everything, and then speak again while ensuring that you're not making the content mistakes, right? Now, if you are unsure as to how should I check my pronunciation, because many people come from the vernacular background, and one mistake that they keep on doing is they keep on mispronouncing words. So I'll take you again back to my screen and I'll show you how you can use ChatGPT or Google Gemini to know the actual pronunciation. So let's go. So if you remember earlier in the video, we did this question as the last live question. What I want you to do is copy paste the text prompt. Ape Uni allows that. Some portals also allow that. I'm not very sure. Ape Uni, I 100% know it allows it. Maybe the portal that you are also using allows you to do that, right? Okay. So you come to Google Gemini, it does a wonderful job. You just type in, can you please read out this PT Read Aloud question for me? I want to know how the actual pronunciation would be like coming from a native English speaker and how he or she would sound. Now, all that you want is that Google Gemini just produce the same text, and now you hit the 3 dots and you say listen.
The provided text reads as follows. In Germany, over 100,000 tons of diapers are discarded each year, resulting in the wastage of valuable resources.
So Google Gemini would actually read this out like how a native speaker would sound, right? I might not be very aware of other tools that are able to do it, but I know this works 100%. I'll make sure that I put the prompt in the description as well as on the screen so you can use it. So yeah, that's it for the read aloud question. First of all, thank you for coming till here to the end of this video. And this, to be honest, very clearly tells me how much dedicated you are. Now I have a few requests, right? I'm doing this whole series, and trust me, after watching this video you don't need anything else for your read aloud preparation, right? I'm more than happy to help you, but again I would say you should practice around 6 to 7 questions of read aloud on a daily basis, right? If you keep doing it consistently, even without any significant guidance or any coaching classes, you'll be able to do it very nicely. Just give it 15 days, okay? Also, if you really want my help, the number would be scrolling on the screen. You can WhatsApp me. It's a WhatsApp only number, but I'm always available for calls and everything. So just shoot me a message or anything and I'll be there to help you with your doubts. If you want to join one-on-one classes from me, you're more than welcome to do that also. Please just shoot a message. Also, thank you for watching the video till the end. I'll meet you in the next video and I'll be covering all the question types in this free series. So just make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so that you get notified when the next video comes out. Till then, bye bye and happy preparation.